God's chosen ones, you'll wake up different because power is falling in the night hours. Chosen one, you won't wake up the same tomorrow. Tonight, while the world sleeps, something rare is about to touch your spirit. You won't see it coming, but when it hits, everything in your life will begin to change. Your voice will sound different. Your energy will feel electric. The old fear won't even recognize you. Don't ignore this moment. The shift starts at midnight, and by morning, heaven will have confirmed what hell tried to cancel. Type 707. If your soul already feels it coming, you're not here by accident. You're here because you're chosen. You're not just tired, you're transforming. If you're still here, it's not random, it's not late night scrolling. This is a divine appointment. There's been a heaviness you can't explain, an ache behind your eyes, a weight in your chest. You're not just tired, your old self is dying. The one who waited, the one who begged, the one who tried to prove her worth. She's being buried tonight, and something rare is about to rise. You've felt it for weeks, that strange trembling in your chest when you pray, that whisper of a voice in the silence that says, something is coming. You've tried to stay calm, tried to dismiss it, but your spirit has been pacing like a lion in a cage. Why? Because heaven is about to unlock something you didn't know you were ready for. Yes, he sees you, and he's been preparing this night, this moment for years. The warfare you've been under, it wasn't because you were weak, it was because you're next. Hell always hits hardest, right before heaven elevates the ones it chose. And you, yes, you have been chosen. So tonight, while you sleep, a rare power is going to touch your spirit. It won't knock, it won't ask permission. It will arrive like breath after drowning. You'll wake up with a different energy, a sacred glow, a sense of knowing that no one can explain, but everyone will feel. This isn't a maybe, this isn't a pep talk, this is divine confirmation. And the fact that you're still watching proves it. Type 797 in the comments, not for algorithm, but as a sign to heaven that you're ready. If you've ever felt invisible, unwanted, like your calling was on mute, hear this. That wasn't rejection, it was preservation. And tonight, heaven says, it's your time. Whispered final line. Let the old version of you sleep. She won't be waking up. Part 1. The divine storm happening while you sleep. Midnight silence. A bedroom charged with unseen activity. Right now, while your body winds down. Your spirit is rising. It may not look like it. Your bank account may be screaming otherwise. Your heart may still feel cracked in places no one ever asked about. But while the world sleeps, heaven is working. What you didn't know is that the things you've been praying for in daylight are being answered in the shadows. You've cried, God, where are you? And heaven whispered back, I'm hiding the answer inside your spirit. Tonight, yes, this night, there's a divine storm moving through your soul. You won't hear thunder, you won't see lightning, but you'll feel it. A pressure in your chest. A strange peace layered under old panic. That's not anxiety, that's alignment. The rare power that's coming. It doesn't knock, it floods. It doesn't ask permission. It's not waiting on your perfection. It's coming because heaven voted and you were the unanimous choice. You've been in spiritual labor, and tonight something is being birthed not around you, but in you. You didn't know that your rest was warfare, that your tears were oil, that your silence was a weapon. This is not emotional hype, it's a holy shift. And when you wake up, you'll feel the difference before you understand it. The doubts won't shout as loud. The fear won't fit like it used to. The old version of you won't survive the sunrise. Why? Because the storm that hit your life wasn't meant to drown you. It was meant to baptize you. And tonight, while you sleep, you're crossing into something rare, something no demon can reverse, something your bloodline never saw coming. Would you still believe if no one else could see what changed in you tomorrow? Because this shift, it's not about applause. It's about activation. You were chosen, and tonight, the heavens remember. Part 2. God's rare power is not earned. It's awakened the unseen realm, a divine chamber of light. Time has stopped. You've been trying so hard, haven't you? Working, striving, praying louder, fasting longer, hoping maybe this time God would move. But tonight, He's doing something you can't earn, something you were never meant to strive for. He's awakening what was already in you, that rare power, that favor, that shift that's about to mark your life forever. It's not a wage, it's a witness to the hours you loved Him with nothing, to the nights you worshiped through weeping, to the months you gave even when it cost you everything. You didn't perform for this power, you aligned for it. And alignment begins in surrender. This is where most people miss it. They try to build something divine with flesh tools, but you laid it all down. You stopped chasing. You stopped proving. You said, God, if you want it, take it. And that's when heaven said, now, she's ready. This rare power is not a reward for perfection. It's a response to your positioning. God saw you positioned in pain, and He sent power in response. He saw you still smiling when betrayal burned, still believing when doors slammed, still choosing faith when you had no answers. And tonight, He's not rewarding you with applause. He's awakening you with authority. Chosen one, this is what divine awakening feels like. It's not loud, it's not forceful, it's subtle, sacred, strong. You're not losing your mind, you're gaining your mission. If this power never brought you a spotlight, would you still receive it? Because this isn't about being seen, it's about being sent. You didn't earn this, you embodied it. That's what makes you different. That's why you were chosen. Part 3. The reason you were attacked early, now you'll know why. Childhood memory. Young chosen one crying silently in a dark room. Let's talk about what nobody else knows. You were hit early, before you even had language to describe the pain, before you understood jealousy, betrayal, or spiritual warfare. You were just a child, but you were marked, and hell could see it. That's why you were misunderstood, mocked, left out, abused when you should have been protected. You didn't know it then, but your presence made demons tremble. Even in diapers, you were a danger to darkness, because God doesn't wait to anoint you when you're perfect. He anoints you when you're pure, and purity terrifies the pit, the bullying, the isolation, the shame that wrapped itself around your voice before you ever learned to speak. It wasn't personal, it was prophetic. Hell could see something in you that you couldn't even name. A power, a light, a calling so rare that every attack was just a confirmation. You didn't fit in because you weren't meant to blend, you were meant to burn. And that fire, it's not punishment, it's preservation. God let the rejection happen so you'd never forget who marked you first. You thought they hated you, but it wasn't you they hated. It was your glow. Even now you downplay it, dim it, apologize for being too intense, too deep, too discerning, but that's what makes you chosen. What if your earliest wound was actually your earliest calling? What if the attack wasn't against your weakness, but against your anointing? You're not broken. You're not cursed. You're proof that hell strikes early, when heaven calls first. Part 4. The moment heaven decided to trust you again. A quiet night. You alone in the dark, praying without answers. There was a moment. You won't even remember when. No one clapped. No lights. No angelic trumpet. Just you. And a yes in the dark. You didn't feel strong. You didn't feel holy. You just whispered, God, I'll still trust you, even if it hurts. And that moment changed everything. You thought nothing happened, but that night, heaven recorded it, because there's something more valuable than a victory. It's obedience in silence. You passed a test you didn't know you were taking, the kind of test only the chosen get. No instructions, no feedback, no reward until later. And you passed it. Not with perfection, but with persistence. And in that moment, heaven said, "Now I can trust her again." You see, trust isn't just earned through action. It's revealed through alignment. And when everything in your life fell apart, you stayed aligned. You didn't chase approval. You didn't sell out. You didn't switch up. You stayed faithful when it would have been easier to quit. You sowed in famine. You served in silence. You forgave without apology. And when heaven saw that, something shifted. A door was unlocked. A power was released. An inheritance was activated. Not because you were the loudest, but because you were the most loyal. That's why this rare power is coming. Not because you shouted the loudest, but because you knelt the longest. What if your silence was the sound heaven needed to hear? What if the moment you almost gave up was the moment God chose to trust you again? You didn't just survive the test. You proved that God could trust you again. And now, heaven is about to reward you publicly for what you did privately. Part 5. You're not ordinary. Here's why your presence shifts rooms. Everyday places, grocery store, elevator, church pew. But everything slows when you enter. You keep wondering why they stare, why people grow quiet when you walk in, why strangers tell you their secrets, why others seem agitated around you and you've done nothing. You think it's awkwardness, it's actually authority. Chosen one, your presence shifts atmospheres, not because of what you do, but because of what you carry. You don't walk into rooms. You shift the frequency of the room. That's why some people avoid you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your light makes their demons restless. You were never meant to blend in. You were built to expose. Your energy, your discernment, your glow. It disrupts what's fake and it attracts what's ready. You don't attract attention. You attract assignment. God embedded a signal inside your spirit. Those who need healing, feel it. Those who need deliverance, find you. Those who can't handle it, run. And that's not rejection, that's spiritual filtration. Stop explaining your energy. Start embracing it. You're not too intense. You're tuned in. You're not too much. You're measured for miracles. You weren't called to be liked. You were called to be light. People don't follow you because of charisma. They follow you because of clarity. Your presence says there's something different about her, but they don't know it's heaven's fingerprint they're sensing. What if the awkwardness you've felt was actually sacred attention? What if your whole life God's power has been leaking through you and now He's about to pour it in full? Don't dim your light to keep the room comfortable. You are the thermostat, and this rare power, it's going to turn your glow into glory. Part 6. When the world ignored you. Angels took notes. Hidden places, bedrooms, back seats, back rows of church pews, grocery aisles. They didn't see it, but heaven did. All the days you showed up but weren't seen. The prayers you whispered without applause. The kindness you gave that no one returned. You thought your life was too small to matter, but angels were watching. Every yes you gave in secret is now echoing in heaven. You've lived like a background character, but heaven wrote your name in bold. Because God doesn't bless based on spotlight, He blesses based on stewardship. And you stewarded the silence well. There were days you asked, "Does anyone see me?" And the answer was always yes. Heaven sees. You weren't invisible. You were being preserved. You weren't overlooked. You were being observed. Even your pain was documented. Even your loyalty was logged. When they forgot your birthday, heaven threw a feast. When they mocked your dreams, heaven doubled your inheritance. You've never prayed a wasted prayer, never served a forgotten moment, never worshipped unseen, and now the God who sees in secret is about to reward you in public. This rare power, it's heaven's response to your hidden obedience. What if every ignored moment was actually your spiritual resume? What if God was preparing to elevate you? Based on what no one else applauded, this is your vindication season. The angels wrote it down, and now God's about to act on it. You were never unseen. You were always chosen. Part 7. This power will touch your body, mind, and money. Morning light. You looking in the mirror, something different in your eyes. You thought this was just spiritual, but when God moves, He moves through everything. This rare power. It's not just for your soul, it's for your skin, your cells, your energy, your wallet. When God says overflow, He means in every dimension. Spirit, mind, body, bank account. You're about to walk different, think different, spend different, because this rare power, it rebuilds the temple. And you, chosen one, are the temple. That heaviness lifting, that fatigue replaced with fire, that anxiety silenced by authority. You'll begin to notice divine strength in your bones, clarity in your mind, a posture of purpose that draws respect before you speak. You'll walk in rooms and feel the magnetic pull of heaven's favor working in your body. And yes, this power touches money too. Not because you're greedy, but because you're entrusted. God is funding your calling. He's resourcing your obedience. He's multiplying what you refuse to manipulate. This power will align your mind to steward wealth, your hands to attract opportunity, your energy to protect what you build. You will have peace in your mind, glow in your body, and favor in your finances, not because you're chasing it, but because it's chasing you. What if the healing you've been praying for was already unlocked the moment you stopped striving? What if wealth, health, and wisdom aren't rewards? They're byproducts of divine alignment. This rare power doesn't just visit, it inhabits, it regenerates, it builds from the inside out. Chosen one, this is not a glow-up. This is a God-up. Part 8. This power isn't from earth. It's supernatural, spiritual realm overlaying reality, glimpses of light moving through ordinary moments. This isn't motivation. This isn't manifestation. This is supernatural invasion. You didn't earn this with effort. You received it through surrender. And it's not of this world. Chosen one, you're stepping into power that breaks natural law, the kind of power that parts red seas, that multiplies oil, that opens prison doors without keys. It's the power of heaven alive in human skin. This rare power is not a feeling, it's a force. And once it touches your spirit, the laws that bind others won't apply to you. You'll begin to notice things shift around you, not because of you, but because of who's in you. Sudden breakthroughs, sudden provision, sudden divine appointments. The mail arrives and what you needed shows up. The door you forgot you knocked on flies open. The person you thought forgot you calls with favor. That's supernatural power. God is not limited by location, logic, or latency. He moves outside of time, and He just stepped into yours. And when He moves, nothing stays the same. This power will cause things to align for you without striving. Your name will be mentioned in rooms you've never entered. People will feel compelled to bless you without knowing why. Because when heaven breathes on you, earth responds. What if the miracles you've been waiting for were waiting on you to wake up to this truth? What if you are the move of God you've been praying to see? This rare power doesn't make sense. It makes moves. You're not limited by natural law anymore. You're aligned with supernatural law. And heaven just gave you clearance. Part 9. Your old self is dying, and that's why you're exhausted. Your room. Stillness. You lying awake not from insomnia, but from spiritual rebirth. Let's be honest, you're tired, but it's not from life. It's from rebirth. You're not lazy, you're not depressed, you're not crazy. You're shedding a skin that no longer fits. That heaviness, it's grief for the version of you who survived so much, but cannot cross into what's next. You are not being attacked. You are being undone. The old habits, the old fears, the false labels, they're gasping for air because they know you're about to rise. You feel like something's ending, and it is. The old version of you, the one that shrunk, performed, people-pleased, is dying. And death always brings exhaustion before resurrection brings energy. This is why you're disconnected from old friendships. This is why familiar places suddenly feel foreign. This is why nothing feels like it used to. Because you're no longer who you were. A caterpillar doesn't die. It surrenders. It enters a dark space, and the old form dissolves. You've been in the cocoon. And the ache you feel, its wings forming where wounds used to be. This rare power is not layering something on top of you. It's unwrapping what's always been inside you. God is not upgrading you. He's resurrecting you. What if the confusion you feel is your old self begging to stay? And what if the pain is proof that your promise is almost here? Let the old version go. Let the worn-out identity dissolve. Because the you who's rising, she's chosen, she's powerful, she's already glowing. Part 10. Tomorrow morning they'll notice, but you'll know dawn. Mirror moment. Phone screen. A new stillness. A deeper glow. When you wake up tomorrow, the world will look the same, but you won't be. And some people will notice, but they won't understand. They'll say, you seem lighter. You look rested. There's something different about you, but you'll know. You'll feel it in the way you breathe, in the way your shoulders sit, in the way peace wraps around you like a warm coat. You won't question your worth. You won't shrink to be accepted. You won't apologize for glowing. People will sense something. Opportunities will feel magnetized. Doors will open before you knock. This is divine favor, and it looks good on you. You won't need to explain it. You embody it. You'll know this is the day everything changed. Not because of what you see, but because of what you carry. The doubt is gone. The fear mute. The ache healed. This is the rare power God promised. Not loud, but loud in the spirit. Not flashy, but impossible to ignore. It's on you now. It's in you now, and it's not going anywhere. What if everything you've been waiting for was always waiting for this version of you? What if the old timeline had to collapse to make space for the real one God wrote with your name on it? They'll see the difference, but you'll feel it. You'll know you've awakened, you've risen, you've been chosen. Type 7 event in the comments if this is your confirmation. You woke up different for a reason. If you're still here, it's because your soul already knew. You weren't just watching a video, you were witnessing your own confirmation. You've carried so much for so long, and you did it quietly, faithfully, with trembling hands and unwavering belief. And tonight, heaven whispered, it's time. Time to rise. Time to release. Time to walk in the rare power that's always been yours. You're not crazy. You're not lost. You're not forgotten. You're chosen. And that ache you've felt for years, it was the womb of your calling stretching open. Type 707 in the comments, not for a trend, but as a heaven-marked sign that you received this word. Let the universe know you're ready. Let heaven know you're awake. Let the world witness what favor looks like. And if your spirit stirred, if you felt seen, if your tears had language tonight, subscribe. Not because you need another video, but because God just reintroduced you to you. You didn't wake up different by accident. You woke up different because you were always destined to. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly on time and deeply divinely seen. You are chosen.